Yeah. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
I'm stupid too, MK, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm stupid too.
So that's
Uh-huh.
kind of good. It's like, okay, this dude's a K-pop junkie.
Not a junkie.
Wow, that makes me slightly better, MK. Other Korean students, yeah, so.
We have to know we are all stupid. Yeah. We have to admit our ignorance.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the apartment. How y'all doing today? You're tuning in on the show called It's Been a While, where I just get together with a friend I haven't seen / talked to in a long time. We just chat one on one, talk about a topic, and yeah, we just catch up with each other because it's like the name implies, it's been a while. And today's guest is coming all the way from South Korea. Let's give it up from my friend MK. Say what's up, MK.
Hello, guys. I'm MK from South Korea. I'm studying design, and I'm a friend of Brian.
Hell yeah. How you been, bro?
I'm just having really busy days, and it's gonna be more busier next week because my semester will start, and this would
Ooh.
be my last year of the school, so it's gonna be hella busier.
Bro, same. I'm on that last stretch too. Don't even get me started. You know, earlier this week I was like, how is it week 5 already of our semester? It still feels like week 2.
Mm. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, no, dude, it's crazy. But yeah, thank you, MK, for taking the time to come onto the show. And
Oh, yeah. I'm willing to be here, but yeah, I was so busy.
yeah. So today, guys, as you can tell by the title, me and MK, we're gonna be talking about a thing called Korean, on MK's Korean views. Sorry about that. Because there was a conversation me and MK had where there's a whole bunch of kind of like misconceptions about Korea and Korean people in general. And I was like, MK, let's just make an episode about this. So me and him, we're gonna talk for like an hour about breaking down those misconceptions and also like figuring out where did they start and clearing up any confusion we have about them. We hope that today's episode, guys, can be an educational one for all of y'all out there.
It may be controversy.
Oh yeah, no, you might hear some controversial shit, but you know what? We're in for the ride now, MK.
Yeah, I like to say something controversial.
Oh god. Oh no. But anyways, guys, if you want to hear more on MK's views about Korean misconceptions, go ahead and subscribe to Apartment 308. Like today's video, comment, share it, and yeah. All right, MK, you ready for this? Let's jump into it.
Yep.
So, on my list of topics and questions I have for MK, I wrote down some of the more kind of like their misconceptions, stereotypes, myths, controversial stuff about what people hear about Korea and what people also hear about Korean people. One of the first things I have on my topic notes is it true that learning to speak English or another language is very looked down upon by other Koreans?
Uh, because in Korea, English is basic subject, and people learn it from elementary school, most of them. And these days, even kindergarten, they educate English. So it's not that competitive to know how to speak English. And
Really?
many people don't have to speak well in English, but because everyone have opportunity to study English, so it's like if you speak well in English, it's good. But if you can't speak well in English, it's like people can be lazy or don't have interest in their study. But in another language, it's totally different. Actually, most
Totally.
of school,
Really?
yeah, most of school contains to teach the second foreign language, but not for the people who are in major these languages. People who can speak a second foreign language must have more experience or well educated. So people will think he's better. I mean, it's something weird, like well educated or higher level people. Also,
Ah, I see.
Korea, yeah, have no natural resources, I think. So people, I mean, Korea.
Do you mean something like they don't have like a natural like way of learning English or like finding a good source to speak or
Oh, I
study it?
mean, Korean nation have less natural resources, so we don't have anything to sell from ourselves. So we have to depend on other countries. So we usually sell other countries' resources after we produce something from them. So
Oh, I see. So you
yeah,
guys you guys
in,
relied
yeah.
on exports and imports.
Hmm.
Interesting. I was actually having this conversation with another friend, MK, where
Hmm.
someone told me that, if you are a Korean person that,
Hmm.
studies English very well, can understand it, can speak it fluently.
Not
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like in a very hypothetical situation,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
other Koreans are probably gonna try to bring you down, as in like, oh, you're competition now. I see you. You can speak English better than me, bitch. Let me try.
Yeah, people here is very competitive and enthusiastic.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then also a little bit too, like transitioning a little bit. I've on this other YouTube channel, Dive Studios. One of their episodes, they did talk about like this person is a Korean by blood, was born and raised in America, but when they moved
Hmm.
over to Korea, a lot of Korean people there like gave them a whole bunch of like shit for it, saying like, "Oh, you." I was like, "Oh, you're not real Korean. You're like, sure, your parents are Korean, but you were born in
What
America."
is real Korean?
Yeah. So I want to know your thoughts about that. Okay, it's like, have you like heard anything about this?
Sorry, what?
Like like Korean
Mhm.
people bashing on Korean Americans. So Koreans that
Uh,
weren't born in their homeland.
mhm. I personally, I think what determine people, I mean, what determine person is not where he born. I think it's what he or she or they experienced. So I don't care about it actually.
So you don't really care if like, oh, I don't care. So you're basically like, oh, I don't care if you're born in like America or Europe. You're like you're still this person.
Hmm.
Damn. I mean that's like hella well said for like a few words, MK.
Just what is when the nation is important is just because passport, I think, or relation
Oh.
between the nations.
I see. We'll talk about country relations later on. But yeah, like when I first heard like Korean people bashing on Korean Americans, I was
Hmm.
like, "Yo, let them be." It's like because the thing for me, MK, like taking it from my like own Filipino perspective, which by the way, you guys should watch the
Hmm.
Filipino episodes I did on Let's Hang Out. Just putting it out there. Well, me born in America as a Filipino American, like sure, like
Hmm.
I was raised to live kind of like the American life, but there is that point where some of us are like, we want to know more about our cultural background. So yeah, like for
Hmm.
me,
Hmm.
I wanted to know more about my Filipino heritage, and of course, I can assume for some of the Korean Americans, they want to know more about their own Korean culture, their own Korean background.
Oh, actually, there is something I can say when people bashing other American Koreans because it's because of the duty of National Guard.
The
Uh,
National Guard.
so yeah, the duty of National Guard, like serving at the army.
Oh
Because
yeah.
of it, people can bashing the I mean, the Korean Americans.
So wait, you
Hello?
mean
Yeah.
the Korean National Guard bashes on?
Yeah. Yeah, because of it, because if Korean American want to have citizenship in Korea, when it is man, yeah, he have to serve at the army.
Oh, I mean that makes sense because it is by law that
Yeah.
most Korean males have to sign up to have to enlist. Wait. By the way, what age what is the required age again for that?
I think maybe 19.
19? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, because I remember you and I were talking about this too. Do you know anything about for the women's side of like the law like that?
it's actually can be sexualism issue, but in Korea, I don't know the reason, but there is no national guard duty of national guard to the women.
What?
They say it's because of they're physically weaker, but
Damn.
yeah, a lot of
Damn.
women in the army, but they are only officer or I mean, hold on,
They're not really up in the front lines like that, you mean?
yeah, they are just non-com,
Also, just anything non-combat. Interesting.
yeah,
But
or sergeant.
but did they still have to go through like basic training like everyone else, or not really?
Yep, they are
Okay.
actually yeah higher level than normal people, normal Korean soldiers.
Oh, I see. I see.
I mean, normal, not like officer or a sergeant. Yeah,
Just like a regular like private. You mean? I don't know my
yeah.
military terms. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. So yeah, I didn't know about this. See, guys, today is an educational episode.
It's
And
gonna be more
oh
efficient.
yeah. Hey, no, and by the way, for all y'all listening, I'm recording this at 12 a.m. midnight because, that's how we roll. That's how we schedule
Mhm.
stuff. But hey,
Yeah, because
I don't care I have class tomorrow at 12. I can still get up in time.
you can get up.
Okay,
It's
so
not that
that
late, I think.
yeah, it's not that late. But yeah,
Hmm.
okay. That's very interesting to know about, English speakers in Korea and then also a little bit touching on like the Korean military. But going on but continuing off of that is like did you ever notice of like racism in Korea?
I think racism is in Korea is just a fear or ignorance about people who cannot communicate with or from another country or another culture. Actually, Korea is a peninsula country, so historically invaded from a lot of countries, from China's or Japan
Right.
or US or French, and the media exposed more something incident by foreign people. So
Really?
the more educated people, the more see people equally. I think so.
Mm.
Also, the racism in Korea is just level of uncomfortable.
But you
But
guys don't really talk about it as much or you don't bring it up.
when foreign people came to Korea, they may be uncomfortable because of the racism, but it's not like dangerous level because
Right.
yeah, I saw a lot of news from America or Europe or maybe East Middle Asia. I mean Southern Asia. A lot of racism come through. I mean, come with the violence.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
especially here in America, okay, and especially what's been going on these past couple months. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I also saw a news from U.S. When an old Korean man was working down the Korean town, but a black kid, I think he was teenage maybe, he
Hmm.
attacked the old Korean man, and
Yeah,
he's dead.
yeah, I saw that, dude.
So Korean racism not come with rage or violence. And at the past time, many Korean thought the white men or white people are well educated and their level is high, so people like them.
Hmm.
And the time passed by, people think the race is not related with the level of people or their perception, especially the President Trump and his supporters let people in Korea know there are a lot of white people. It can be controversial, but lower intellectual level or not balanced.
Wait, you saying Trump said that Korean people were stupid, basically?
I mean, no. I mean, by the President Trump and his supporters, let Korean people to know there can be white people who are not well educated and who has
So wait, you're saying that Trump and his supporters are telling Korean
yeah.
people like saying, "Hey, not all of us white people are smart about this stuff. so it's okay. Is that what you're trying
Uh,
to say, or like?
because many Koreans think the Trump and his supporters are stupid or narrow-minded, close-minded, or prejudiced.
Oh. So basically, Korean people are saying to Trump supporters, "Yo, you guys are stupid," but then the Trump
Yeah,
supporters like,
most of
"No."
people think.
It's like, "Yeah, no, 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 we're not that dumb. Come on." I was
But
like,
yeah,
"Hmm,
only them, only them. I think only
really?
them.
Damn." I mean, I
Is
don't
it
want to.
controversial?
I mean, I don't want to talk about politics on this channel, bro. But I'm not a Trump. I'm not. I don't support Trump, guys. I voted for Biden. But yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. Not gonna lie.
Because the reason because it's the problems happen that United States is not by the race. Trump and his supporters making the problems by the race.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is. Yeah, because what was it like? We like this. This is still an ongoing thing, and I wish it still wasn't an ongoing thing. But like the
and they
amount of
show they show their opinion by using violence. So Korean
right.
people think violence is the evidence of uneducated.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
let me just try to understand. So
Mhm.
Korean people think racism is linked to violence, right? Something
Oh, I
like
mean,
that.
yeah, in Korea, there is no violence in racism, just
Right.
because of fear and people don't know about he or her, or he or she.
Right. So it's more of this like they just fear it. They just fear racism, or like they don't want to talk about it because they're scared of it, right?
And also, some of people from foreign country can feel they're experiencing racism because Korean people, not that well with them. But it's not really they hate them, or I mean, Korean people hate them. It's because Korean people are shying and they don't want to show their weak point. So, and
Interesting.
yeah, so most of people think they are not good at in speaking English, so they don't want to say in English because they are not good at English.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
I kind of want to add on this question real quick, MK.
Mhm.
When you came over to America, were you and a whole bunch of Korean students were afraid of the racism when you guys first landed?
Yeah, because we saw a lot of news.
Yeah, the news
That
is
was-
scary when it comes to that stuff, man.
Mhm. Also, when I went there, the racism was uprising issue because of the President Trump.
Yeah, no, it's just I thank God he is out of office. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, guys, I support Biden. I voted for him. You know, and by the time I'm recording this, he still has a lot of progress to go. So, yeah, that's crazy. Well, at least it's kind of good to know what like Korean people like actually think about
Mhm.
stuff like this. And by the way, guys, it's like I might have MK here to talk about like his views, but sometimes his views don't match everyone's views. This is just only
Yeah,
this is only his opinion, guys.
yeah. So I just saying most of people, like general people.
Yeah, it might not be
Yeah.
true for everyone's case, but I think from you, MK, it is very interesting to like hear all these different points
Mhm.
because
I
like I
can represent all of Koreans.
all right. So
Mhm.
moving on from the racism and
Next.
like the English speaking, this is
Mhm.
something that you and I and a couple other Korean students have talked about before in the past, and that is of course K-pop and K-drama.
Mhm.
I did an episode a while back of Let's Hang Out where I talked about K-pop with my coworker, so check that one out. But in that
Yep.
episode, MK, I did say that when I mentioned the K-pop to you and other friends,
Mhm.
that sometimes I get mixed reactions. You know, I get yeah. One
Yeah.
person has said like, say for example, I say, "Oh, I listen to Red Velvet." One person might
Mhm.
say, "It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Americans listen to K-pop." And then there's like other people that are just like, "Don't talk to me about K-pop, please."
I must be the. Yeah, actually, I don't listen a lot about K-pop, and also I only watch the K drama partially. So I think it's just interest or preference.
But what I want to ask you, MK, is how
Mhm.
do you react when people from another
Yeah.
country, especially here in America, start talking to you about K-pop and K-drama, or just anything
Mhm.
relating to Korean culture in that sense?
Mhm. Yeah, we actually very proud about it because it's like an influence of Korea is getting bigger and bigger, and it will help the future Koreans
Mm-hmm.
and making images or like destroying racism to Korean is very helpful for. I mean, the culture will help them.
Ah, so the answer to destroy racism in Korea is spam them with more K-pop. Yes, MK.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of people when I was there saying ni hao or konnichiwa to me because I'm just Asian. But there is a lot of countries in Asia.
Wrong country, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm Korean. Also, I can speak English.
Oh my god, MK, you just remember that one teacher we had for that one class, and she kept mistaking you as
Uh-huh.
a Taiwanese dude.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm from South Korea.
You said it in so many emails too when you had
Yeah.
to message her.
Hmm. Also, I was in US when it was lockdown.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was one.
Yeah.
That was one hell of experience, huh?
Hmm.
You don't
That
really.
was the one experience that I thought not every white people are not well educated.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
I'm stupid too, MK. So don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm stupid too.
So
I'm just
overall,
a picky person.
yeah, but overall, MK, you don't really mind when people talk to you about like K-pop or K-dramas most of the time?
Yeah, I actually feel proud, especially when I'm out of Korea.
Really?
Actually, I don't really feel patriotism in Korea when I'm in Korea, but when I usually feel patriotism when I am out of Korea.
Right,
Because
because,
a lot of people here listen to the Korean music or K dramas and they say about food.
hey, no, let's not forget those times we had those cooking parties in our room, man.
I actually listen Indian music or classical music and old pops.
Oh yeah, I remember you used to listen to like a very old school like
Yeah,
K-pop.
I like Led Zeppelin or Guns N' Roses.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. MK, there was like another thought in mind where
Hmm.
no, say for I had a few instances, not only with just Korean international students, but some of the Japanese and Chinese international students too, where
Hmm.
I like tried to give them suggestions on like what we can do, what we can eat, and all that, and I had a few of them come up to me saying like, "Can we not do things that remind us of home? We're here in America for a reason. We want to get adjusted to American life." Did you ever felt that way when you came over? Like, I know you said like you feel great when you hear more about Korean culture, but like you wanted to adjust more to the American culture when you're here, right?
Hold on,
Yeah.
what was the question?
Like for you, MK, like although
Uh-huh.
you say you like it when they mention Korean culture,
Yeah.
does it bother you somehow if it's too much?
Oh, yeah, sometimes because I don't actually have interest on K-pop or K-drama because I like to see Netflix and I like old pop or classical music. So my interest is out of Korea, but when people say K-pop or K-drama to me, their interest is in Korea. I can
Right.
explain them well about it because I'm from Korea. I may know well about. I mean, I can know more than them, but I don't have any interest on it. So when I have conversation about it, I just say like, "Oh yeah, I
Yeah, and
like that."
also you're from like a like somewhat different generation from me.
Hmm.
Like you're like slightly older than me, so the things you listen to and watch from growing up is like definitely way different from what I've
Yeah.
experienced or anyone else here that experienced. So
Hmm.
that I understand. So
Yeah, like former interview questions, like my answer, I actually more have interest about how words works or how economics works and nations relationship. Yeah, not like K-pop or K-drama.
Yeah, but those are topics for a whole different episode, MK.
Mhm.
So overall, you do find it enjoyable when you see like parts of your home are being influenced in other countries, but
Mhm.
if it's being overflowed too much, that's when you're like, nah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to, so another misconception slash myth or whatever these are called is about the beauty culture in Korea.
Mhm.
We do know that we see like everywhere in like K-pop, K-dramas, and like in Korean culture in general that beauty has become like a very vital, important thing to most people. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that statement? Saying like a lot of men and women care about their beauty.
Yeah, I can know it because I have been in US, but I didn't know about it because I was in Korea before. Yeah, it's really Korean people care about their beauty a lot, and I think it can be positive because personally, I think people need to care about their beauty or appearance because when we meet person, because we don't have any information about he or her or whatever we can only determine the person only by the appearance.
Oh yeah, you
So
really judge the book by its cover, dude.
because we don't have any information about them, or they can attack or violate us, so we have to determine about how they are. Also, when we meet people who don't us, we can have positive first expressions. So it
Right.
is very competitive, and I mean it's very good for our social competition.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
that's probably a key concept you brought up is like social competition.
And also, I think Korean people, there is side effect of the people caring about their beauty
Mm-hmm.
because Korean people care too much about other people. I think it's because
For
relation
the
relation
relationship,
themes. I mean relation theme
the relation scene, relationship,
relationism.
uh,
Yeah.
oh, relationism. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, because of relationism, the Korean society is overly controlled by relationism. So people wanted to be part of the relation. So they care
I
about
see.
a lot about fashion and trend. So they just wanted to be there.
I see. I see.
Yeah. It can be seen care too much about their beauty by other people.
So everything to them is just okay. This is the first impression. How do I pull it off? Sort of thing.
Mm. And it's actually very important when you are in society. Don't
Oh,
you think so?
I mean, it pretty much has gotten to that point, MK, where
Yeah.
like look really matters.
Hmm.
Both you and I who are studying graphic designs, we both know this.
Yeah.
The overall
The first
look,
impression is so important.
yeah, and looks I guess really do matter. And what's funny too
Hmm.
is like I asked this to a lot of people, like, okay, what's more important, the looks or the personality? Most of the time they
Hmm.
say the personality, but I can tell they're somewhat lying about that. Because it's like you said, MK, like looks of course are the first impression. They
Hmm.
what however you look like, say like example, like you show up in like a super nice hoodie, jeans and shoes. My first impression of you would be like, damn, this guy's probably super chill, down to earth, and honestly
Do you
that's what
think mine is super good?
yeah. When not gonna lie, okay, not when I first met you, MK, like I
Hmm.
was like, just by the way you dress and also just by kind of like the way you talk in class, I'm like, yeah, this guy's like super chill, down to earth kind of guy. This guy also looks like he
Uh,
has to have fun from time to time. So,
yeah.
okay, I gotta ask now. What was your first impression of me, dude?
Your first expression?
Yeah, like
Actually,
what did you think of me?
when I saw you first time, do you remember what you were wearing?
The knowing me, I probably just wore like a regular hoodie and jeans. Knowing
You
me.
was wearing a pullover, the sun illustration and Japanese letters on it.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had the what was it? It was a sweater I got that had the kanji for the sun.
And actually, to the Korean person, the sun is like an Spetsnaz. I mean the what was it? The symbol of Nazi.
Right.
It's same
Yeah.
thing to the Koreans.
Oh shit! Did I scare you that day?
I mean, it wasn't scary because I know a lot of people in US or Europe or other country know they think it's cool, but actually it's same to the Koreans. The Japanese sun symbol is same with the Nazi symbol.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about dude. See, that's another thing. Okay, it's like
Yeah,
it's just
because
ignorance, general
because Japan
ignorance we
used
have.
the symbol when they invade Korea,
Yeah, and I low key forgot about that. I low key
but I don't
forgot that.
care.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, we'll talk about Korea's relationship with other countries in a bit.
hmm
But continue on with your like first impression of me.
Oh, another. What is what is the expression? Who is crazy in Asian culture?
Wait, you asking me like the expression in Asian culture?
I mean, people who are crazy. I mean, I'm asking a term.
Oh,
I forgot.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the word too. It's not coming to mind.
I
Okay.
just yeah. Actually, personally, I thought you can be one who are crazy in Japanese and Korean culture because what you are wearing.
Right. Yeah, I think somewhat can be said the same for Americans too, because in America we kind of have that thing too where it's not really just like first impression, but I think sometimes fashion can be seen as competitive too, like you said, social competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like people are like trying to see like, oh, I can probably get get a better jacket than her jacket. Look at this. And, they spent and they throw like hundreds of dollars on like a leather jacket or something like that.
But what people in Korea think about our social competitiveness is not like that because we don't want to compare. I mean, personally, I think, yeah, only me, only I think it's not right. I think like
Yeah.
compare other people by their fashion.
Yeah, and we have a term for that, for
Mhm.
like when people act like that, and that's what you call toxicity. Because yeah, people can be toxic about each other, and we
Yep.
try our best to look good in front of people. So and it's not just looks. Sometimes the personality does have to, be the first good
Mhm.
impression. Like, I like if we go back to like when I first met you, MK. Like since I knew you were a Korean person, I said 안녕하세요 to you, bro.
And you were actually very you actually like Korean pops or Korean dramas.
Yeah, I'm more of a
Yeah.
K-pop dude.
Yeah,
But
you were
yeah,
crazy about Blackpink and Red Velvet.
yep, yep. I love
Yeah.
Red Velvet to death. I love those girls. Wendy, you're still my favorite.
Okay.
But
It was
yeah,
my first expression of you.
I, okay. So that's
Uh-huh.
kind of good. It's like, okay, this dude's a K-pop junkie.
Not a junkie.
Wow, that makes me slightly better, MK.
and
Interesting.
my first expression is partially right.
Yeah, yeah. Goddamn. I feel like I'm getting called out here right now. I already got called out multiple times for previous episodes.
I can
Okay.
say it to you because I know you and you know me well, and we are so friendly to us.
Hell yeah, brother. I miss you.
Mhm.
Get your ass
Mhm.
back here and we drink up. All right. But
Mhm.
moving right along. So
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
that
we have
in
to.
yeah, in that brief conversation we have, you did mention about that issue with Japan and
Mhm.
how that, that sweater I was wearing where it had the Japanese sun on it, that means, that's the equivalent of like those Japanese Nazis you're talking about. But that was
Mhm.
all before in the past, historically.
Yeah.
Right now, between Korea and Japan, just those two countries for now, Where's the
Uh,
relationship like? Or where is it at?
when when we say about relationship with Korea and Japan, I mean the relationship Korea with Japan, we cannot say without history.
Yeah.
Also, now the relationship between Korea and Japan is really, really bad, and I think it's worst in history. Most Korean people hate the Japan as a nation, only as a nation.
Oh.
It's important, yeah. As a nation is the important part because I think it's because of the treatment by Japanese government dealing history. Because historically, Japan did a lot of bad things to the Korea, and also they are. Hold on, I'm using dictionary.
So just real quick while you're searching that up. So
Mhm.
you're saying like when Koreans think about Japan, they of course refer back to what happened during the war, right? The war between Korea and
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. Okay, Japan is also war criminal country. So
Oh, right. We forgot
yeah,
about that. See, ladies and gentlemen, now we're getting into the more controversial stuff, so strap in for this.
but Japan country as a government, they are pretending they are victims and they don't want to
Hmm.
admit what they did officially. And also when they apologizing, it's only for apologizing. They are not admitting what they did.
So they're just saying
Just
sorry without giving context.
yeah, like just saying sorry. Just it just only end with behavior. Their hearts are not saying sorry. So
Mm,
it made people in Korea angry, and we making it uh, making Korean people hate the Japanese politicians, making the historical issue to the political issue.
right.
Historically, yeah, they did a lot about it.
I see,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. People have to think it's apart, but also since few years ago, they are making also historical issue to the economical issue. They eliminated
Mm.
Korea from their white list. Is actually very important when it comes to the exporting and importing.
Wait, white, what
But
does the whitelist mean?
it's like a list the country they can trust. So when
Oh,
they
so
yeah.
basically a trust pack.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, there is territorial issue.
Oh, here we
So
go. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I know which place you're talking about. Yeah,
mhm.
that one,
Japan.
that one island down south of Korea.
I mean, not just the island. Island is the because of the sea. Japanese government are trying to. I mean, they are investing a lot of money to take our ocean, and the Dokdo is the name of island. Historically, Japanese people never have lived there.
Right.
Also, yeah, there is historical documents by a Korean fisherman whose name is An Yong-bok. Yeah, he got a document from Japan kingdom at the ancient time because he was a fisherman who was fishing at the Dokdo, but there were a lot of Japanese fishing there, so he was angry because he was fisherman. So he
Right.
went to the Japan and say the Dokdo is Korean territory. I mean, at the time, the Joseon territory. The document saying, yeah, it's Joseon's territory. But what is making Korean people anger is Japan government showing up only a few historical evidence that can support only their opinion. Yeah, not every information.
Hmm.
They are just disguising.
Right. Right. Yeah.
However,
Oh no, continue.
they
Sorry.
yeah. So also we can see when we see their textbook, we can know they are brainwashing people and they want to edit the history.
So they're really trying to bury that hatchet as best they can, huh? Or
Yeah.
not bury
I
the hatchet, but just completely rewrite history.
yeah, they want to rewrite the history. That is true. I think the
Wow.
problem is only by the politicians and government
Hmm.
because a lot of people like actually the Japan culture, and I love my Japanese friends. And also, Japan has a lot of things to learn because they become modernized faster than Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in my major in visual communication, Japan is very important, and I have a lot of things to learn from them. I love Japan design.
Oh
If
yeah.
I can say Japanese, I may go to the Japan, not USA, but yeah, like I said, because of history, most of Korean people have negative perception about the Japan.
Right, but and we
Mhm.
should I should have said this in the middle of that, but like we're just talking about in the past and a little bit of the present about the
It's
Japanese
actually an
government.
ongoing problem.
Yeah, like we said, guys, this is going more towards the Japanese government and politicians. We don't have an issue
Mhm.
with Japanese people, like Japanese
Yeah.
citizens. Like MK
Mhm.
said, we love all of you guys in Japan that are listening to this.
Yeah, I
But
like. I
yeah,
saw a lot of
and
anime and yeah.
yeah, it's just it's like you said, MK, like or like you were about to say, where it's like this
Mhm.
has been a long term issue, and
Yeah.
we do see that Japan is getting better, and and I think some Japanese students I've met before too, like they already knew about this. Like they
Mhm.
talked to
Yeah.
both of us before about it, and
Mhm.
they want to learn
Yeah.
from you want to learn from them. So
Mhm.
let's
It
just
was
build
very
that bridge.
thankful for me actually.
It's very what now?
Thankful.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
See, guys, it's like
Yeah.
you gotta build up that bridge your own way. Don't let the others tell you how to build up your bridge.
I really feel good when I saw their braveness to know the truth.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the reason I love my friends.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know. Hey, this is the moral of today's episode. Just get educated, y'all. Get educated. Go to school. Know your
Look, we
facts.
don't have to learn only from school.
Right.
We should learn everything.
You can learn from the internet, or as
Yeah.
through this channel through MK here.
Only we can also learn from conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. See, this is
Yeah.
why this is one of the reasons I kind of talk to a lot of international students, and I said this before when I interviewed AJ on the show, where me and him were like that when we meet new people from different countries, it's like it it broadens our vision more. We learn more about
Mm-hmm.
different parts of the world like we didn't know about, and before we were
Yeah.
very ignorant and stupid about the various stuffs we heard about until we met you, we met some Chinese students, some Japanese students, other Korean students. Yeah, so.
We have to know we are all stupid. Yeah. We have to admit our ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no Q Aladdin. It's like a whole new world. Oh wait, shit! Copyright Disney. No.
Hold on, we
So.
have no time.
Yeah. But another thing I want to, moving on from that, another thing I want to talk to you about, you posted this on your Instagram story, and I was like,
Yeah.
what? You said in your Instagram story that there was a claim by China saying kimchi
Mhm.
came from there. I was like, what's the deal with that?
Not only with kimchi, I think it's jealous, but in normal time, jealous is thought cute by people. But when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to the country or culture jealous, it's pretty problematic. I think it's because of money. Actually, the movement that make kimchi theirs is happened at the Japan first, very long ago, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Japan tried to register the kimchi as their food in name of kimuchi. It's like
oh,
pronunciation kimchi in Japanese.
I see, I see.
Yeah, it's like making money from other country by making the clothes culture theirs.
Yeah.
Also, Chinese government like brainwashing or educating their people like everything is from China.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
yeah, their name in Chinese characteristic is the middle country, and they think everything is. I mean, China is middle of everything. They think.
So they literally think everything centers around them.
Yeah. So
God damn.
they try to, I mean, haste not only kimchi, not only hanbok, they also have opinion the Son and Yeona Kim are Chinese.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Also, yeah, also they think the Korea nation is from China.
No.
Yeah. It's true that we have brotherhood relationship with China and Korea,
Hmm.
but we have never belonged to them. In their logic, their great history would be all fake.
Yeah, and there was that ongoing issue too with China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and a few
Kind of.
other countries where it's
Yeah.
like Chinese government is trying to influence those countries. Oh, and Vietnam
Hmm.
too. I heard a little bit about Vietnam, where the Chinese government's trying to, put their companies slash their
Hmm.
influence in those countries, but people from like Taiwan, Vietnam, and the people from Hong Kong are like, no,
Hmm.
no, get
Hmm.
this
Yeah.
out. No, we don't want Chinese influence here.
Hmm.
I mean, sure, we kind of did come from you guys, but like, no, this is our own country, our own culture. Sure, we can take a few
Hmm.
companies here and there, but don't throw a whole bunch of them over here.
Yeah, like I said, their logic is really, really problematic because if with their logic, their great history is wrong. For example, their, the romance of the three kingdoms. If we are belongs to them, it would be romance of six kingdoms because there were three kingdoms in Korea at the time.
Mm,
Also, the Jin Shuang, the great emperor of the China, yeah, who made a one country as a China. He would be wrong with their logic because at the time there was a country in Korea.
mm-hmm,
Also, with their logic, China have changed their race a lot of times because their dynasty have changed a lot. Yes, so
mm,
they they claim their main race is Han race. I
mm.
mean Han ethnic,
I
but
see.
yeah, because they changed their dynasty a lot. If they like their claim, the mainstream of Han ethnic is in Korea with their logic, because we have never changed our race during our dynasty.
Yeah, and
Mm.
so I guess the only way to pretty much like combat that is, just raise awareness about it, huh?
Hmm. Also, those fakes, I think the reason of all fakes are from their, hold on, I don't know the term.
Their
Yeah,
their their claims, you mean?
their claim. The reason of their claim is because of cultural revolution they have, because they burned every the 5,000 years of historical or cultural things at the, I mean, incident. So they became jealous about other cultures and they want to get it.
Yeah, that can be said too. Of like that's similar to
Mhm.
like how some U.S. businesses have been doing it. It's like as soon as they see something popular, either A, they try to make it their own, or B, they
Mhm.
try to buy it off the person or said
Yeah.
company. It's like you said, MK. They might be claiming all this stuff. I think like we said before, the best way is just raise awareness and just educate people.
Mhm.
And I think that's like, again, the very moral of today's episode is just, just claim that you're stupid. You're stupid. I'm stupid. We're all
Yeah.
stupid. It's like that one
I just
SpongeBob meme.
I just want to people to know about a view of Korean.
And,
Yeah, I don't have any uh, intention to give lesson to people
right.
because I cannot guarantee I am not prejudiced, and
Mm-hmm.
also I cannot express everything because of my linguistic limit and my intelligence limit.
Yeah. And, I think our listeners out here pretty much get the understanding of what you're trying to say, MK. Yeah, just that's again, that's the big lesson. Just keep educating yourself, not only from your school. School won't teach you shit. You gotta learn from real experts. You gotta go online. You gotta do reading. You gotta tune into my shows because we give great advice. We
You
we talk
know,
ab- we talk
you
about
know,
educational stuff.
I don't actually believe or trust internet.
There's okay. That's a conversation for a whole another episode. MK.
Yeah, that's because internet is the most easiest media that can be disguised or being wrong or made fake.
Trust me, we've heard so many cases about the actual fake news. But yeah, if you don't trust the internet, just ask an expert. Ask MK here a question. Ask me here a question. I give the worst advice. Trust me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, just educate
Mhm.
yourself. Get the more you know, rainbow flying over your head as you're learning. Because it's another thing I learned recently. MK, it's like it's never too
Mhm.
late to learn new things.
I also like to learn new things.
Yeah, see, it's
Mhm.
never too late, guys. Just keep on learning. Every day's a new lesson. There's no grade involved, so don't worry. But anyways, guys, that's all the time we have here today for It's Been a While with our buddy MK. MK, thank you so much for telling us your views about these Korean misconceptions, myths, confusions, all
this,
that.
this kinds of conversation is always welcome to me.
Yeah, and
Always my pleasure.
yeah, man, I'm great to have this conversation with you. And
Yeah. Also,
well,
yeah,
oh no,
you can
what's
say.
up? Oh no, you first, you
And
first.
also, like I said, I like to say something controversial and also have discussion.
Oh boy, let me invite you to the next couple of Let's Hang Out or this or that episodes. Then we'll figure that out. We say
But
don't.
there's yeah, but the thing is, you have to know I'm very busy to prepare my graduation exhibition.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll let you know on like what I'm doing, and if you have time for it, just let me know. That's how I do all my
Mhm.
scheduling, bro. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in on today's episode of It's Been a While with MK. Make sure you subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, comment some of the things about Korea you have on your mind, share this with all your friends, and yeah, we'll see you guys over on the next episode. Bye bye.
Yeah. Enlighten yourself, people.